Now on Nightside, the man accused of shooting a WSU football player is now in custody. The conflicting stories about what really happened that night.
I'm tracking summer-like warmth for Wednesday, followed by a strong cold front and a fire weather watch in the first alert forecast.
And a Spokane disability advocacy group responds to recent claims about autism from the Trump administration, while one advocate says the focus needs to change. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. The University of Washington student accused of shooting a Washington State football player is now in custody in King County. Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. Police say 20-year-old Jacory Buchanan, seen here in the white T-shirt, fired a single shot into the stomach of Cougars offensive lineman Sone Falialo during an early Sunday morning altercation in Pullman. He underwent surgery to remove the bullet and is now recovering at home. Falialo claims he was helping a woman who had been assaulted by Buchanan, but Buchanan's attorney paints a different picture.
These weren't two kids going to cause problems in Pullman. They went to watch football.
And new video from Buchanan's attorney shows the moment he pulls the trigger. The recording captures an argument on a porch where a woman swings at a man identified as Buchanan's cousin. Several men get involved, including Falialo, who takes the cousin to the ground. Buchanan's attorney claims the cousin suffered a collapsed lung during the fight. Pullman police continue to investigate and are conducting witness interviews. You can watch the video in this story on KXLY.com. Well, major medical groups are responding to the Trump administration today following its claim that taking Tylenol while pregnant could increase the risk of autism. These groups believe this claim could discourage women from taking acetaminophen when they need it. ABC's Christian Cordero shows us the argument from both sides.
Today, several major medical groups are insisting Tylenol is safe and important for pregnant women who need it, despite the Trump administration's warning that it may be linked to a risk of autism.
The FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good.
At least 10 organizations, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and the American Academy of Pediatrics, are criticizing the administration, saying acetaminophen crucially helps lower fevers, which, if gone untreated, can end pregnancies. By comparison, pregnant women are discouraged from taking another common painkiller, ibuprofen, which is known to increase the risk of miscarriage.
This is a very nuanced discussion. It's not as simple as don't take Tylenol, I think, as we heard the president say. And women really should be speaking to their doctors at this point.
Of the dozens of large studies done over decades, none on people have shown Tylenol directly causes autism. Some studies show a possible link, others show no such link.
There was a study that was done in Sweden where they looked over a 25-year period at 2.5 million children to see whether or not Tylenol taken during pregnancy increased the risk of autism. And it didn't. And more importantly, they did it the right way because they did the so-called sibling control. So they looked at mothers who took Tylenol during one pregnancy but not another. So you could compare those two pregnancies. And again, it found that there was no relationship between taking Tylenol and developing autism.
The stock price for Tylenol's parent company dropped immediately after the president's announcement yesterday, but has since recovered. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
A local disability advocacy group has taken a stand against these claims from the Trump administration. The ARC, a national organization that has an office in Spokane, released a statement yesterday saying autism research should be grounded in science, not stigma. For those who work there and are closely tied to the autism community, seeing the recent headlines has been emotional.
To all the parents, even though out there, I just want to know that you didn't cause your child's autism. You are wonderful. You are a wonderful parent and advocate to your child. So never feel like you're a burden or your child's a burden.
Taylor Chris works at the ARC. She has autism herself and has a child with a diagnosis. She's asking for a stronger focus on support and resources for people with autism rather than the claims public officials are making right now. Well, all this week, Mark Peterson and the 4 News Now Extreme team are working on a very special project at Miriam's house. It's a house in the South Hill that helps women struggling through homelessness get back on their feet. Miriam's house is currently home to 10 different women. Each of them have either recovered from substance abuse or are domestic violence survivors. The program gives them a sense of stability and community.
I've experienced warmth and love. Everything that I need to live with, all my clothing, my shampoo, everything is provided for me here.
Amy Oxshire lives at Miriam's house and says having a place to call home has been huge in her recovery journey. Each woman living here has her own room and is expected to attend 5 sit-down dinners a week. Initiatives like this are designed to foster a sense of community and bring stability to their lives. Now, our Extreme team focused on the painting and flooring renovations at Miriam's house today, along with some extra work on the outside of the house.
It wasn't just the interior, we worked on the exterior, and this time, it's not my fault.
Okay, I guess it's my responsibility. I did say that there were some opportunities to spruce up the yard, and we have been doing that.
Well, tomorrow the Extreme team will be tackling the finer details of the house before the grand reveal on Thursday. Always nice to see Mark Peterson on TV. Yeah. I'm going to guess it probably was his fault, whatever it was.
You took the words out of my mouth. No.
But also nice, of course, to check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who has some unseasonably warm temperatures on the way.
Yes, we are going to be even warmer for Wednesday, heading into the 80s. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Warm and sunny tomorrow, hazy at times, and I'm going to be talking more about our air quality later in the broadcast because there are some concerns. We have a strong cold front coming in on Thursday. It's going to pick up our winds, cool things down for Friday, and increase our fire danger. There is a fire weather watch for Thursday. I'll be talking more about that as well. Highs today, meanwhile, we're in the 70s and 80s around the region, running a little above average after a couple of days below. 76 in Spokane, 79 in Coeur d'Alene, 72 in Sandpoint. We did hit 80 in Pullman and 82 in Lewiston. Tomorrow, 80s just about everywhere around the region. We will make it up to 92 in Lewiston, right around the Spokane area, 81 in Spirit Lake, 84 in Meade, 83 in Airway Heights and Cheney, and 84 tomorrow in Spangle. Your Wednesday planner. It is going to be a cool start to the day, down in the 40s, mostly clear skies. We're heading up to a high of 82, compares to an average high of 71. We're going to be right back down to average, if not a little below, in the 7-day forecast. I'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, looking forward to it. Food allergies affect 1 in 13 children in the U.S. That's about 2 students per classroom who face mild or even life-threatening reactions to what they eat in things like peanuts, eggs, shellfish, and milk. Spokane Public Schools serves 31,000 meals daily and tracks every ingredient to protect these students. Nutrition Services Supervisor Ellen Ramus says the number of allergy plans has increased in the last few years as more families take advantage of free meals.
I actually have seen the last few years an increase in plans that I get questions for, allergens. This year especially, I'm like, oh my gosh, like so many more kids have these diets. But I think part of it might be because they're eating at school now and maybe before they weren't.
But who decides what treatment your child gets in an emergency? Why some parents are choosing a needle-free alternative to EpiPens? And the one thing the district wants them to know if there's an exposure in Kirsten O'Connor's special report tomorrow at 6. Well, Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho warns that without a plan to secure state funding, it will have to close its doors within a year. State Senator Marcus Riccelli and others urged community members to support Planned Parenthood today. Riccelli claims federal Medicaid restrictions have cut off funding for the organization, harming patients who rely on its services and threatening health care in eastern Washington.
Our safety net healthcare providers are already at capacity and unprepared to handle seeing all the Planned Parenthood patients that will flood the system. Washington must remain a place where access to essential healthcare is vigorously protected.
Governor Bob Ferguson says the state will provide funding in the wake of the gap for the next year, but until a better solution is reached in the legislative session, Riccelli warns that Planned Parenthood services are on the chopping block. In Florida today, a verdict was reached in the criminal trial of Ryan Ruth, the man accused of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump last year. Ruth was found guilty on all charges. ABC's Melissa Adan shows us the drama in the courtroom following the verdict.
Chaotic moments in court as Ryan Ruth was convicted of all charges in the attempted assassination of then presidential candidate Donald Trump while on his Florida golf course. Ruth was forcefully removed from court after he tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen right after the verdict was read, armed marshals swarming him and dragging him out of the courtroom. A jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberating for 2 hours and finding Ruth guilty on all 5 federal charges. He's now facing possible life in prison. President Trump praising the verdict.
I'm very appreciative of the justice that was given and the way it was handled by Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche and everybody that it's been, and their team of people.
Ruth representing himself, deciding not to take the stand, calling only 3 witnesses in his defense. In his closing arguments, the 59-year-old spoke about himself in the third person, telling the jury the prime opportunity was there for the defendant to shoot the president, and yet the trigger was never pulled, arguing he is innocent. This human being does not have the capability to harm another human being. Prosecutors say Ruth made 17 trips to Trump International in West Palm Beach planning this attack. Last September, a Secret Service agent spotted a rifle pointing out of the bushes. One agent opening fire. Prosecutors releasing this audio of that moment.
Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Individual in the bush with a gun.
Ruth escaping the scene, but later found and arrested. As he was driven from the court, his daughter seen shouting, "I love you." Sources tell ABC News that pen Ruth tried to stab himself with was specifically designed to prevent injuries. Sentencing is scheduled for December 18th. Melissa Adan, ABC News.
Well, next on Nightside, the tax credit for buying an electric vehicle is ending soon. What you should know if you're planning to buy. And extensive damage to cars at a downtown dealership will tell you who did it and how much it'll cost. Plus, we're expecting to see a shift in weather patterns. Chris Crocker will tell you what to expect in your First Alert forecast.
Tonight, I'm back and I missed you. If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest.
What's behind the plan for Spokane's schools and parks? Find out at togetherspokane.org.
Food allergies in schools, from mild to life-threatening. Who decides what treatment your child gets in an emergency? Why it might not be your doctor or you.
Our goal is to keep the child safe and alive.
Wednesday at 6, only on 4 News Now.
Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out. King of the Cage, live Thursday, September 25th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning. If somebody's out there and they're on the streets and they feel lost,
you feel like there's no way out.
That nothing's worth it.
You're constantly in survival mode.
And it's hard to ask for help when you don't trust anybody.
I know because I've been there.
There is an organization out there that can help you.
They want to help you go from broken to who God made you to be.
Even though you don't think you can change, you can.
Because there's a life that God has for you in the future much better than the life you're living now.
Recovery is possible.
And there are people you can trust.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 3.49% APR on a 2025 Pilot.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Mel has never been exposed to women like us.
To love, happiness, and fun.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cottages of Spokane, specializing in memory care.
Welcome back. Prices for the Washington Discover Pass are going up on October 1st. The price is going from $30 to $45. It's the first price hike since the pass was introduced in 2011. The state legislature approved the price increase in the spring, saying the additional revenue is critical to keep state parks operational amid rising costs. Discover Pass sales represent 71% of the state park's operating budget, funding maintenance and operations across the state's park system. And if you're looking to do something, some midweek hiking, we recommend doing it before Thursday because that's when we could see some haze from the fires, right?
And the gusty winds. Don't want to end up getting blown off Mount Spokane or something. It's not going to be that strong. But I would prefer that you be out and about on Wednesday. I'll explain in a moment. 62 degrees in Spokane with clear skies right now. It is 57 in Coeur d'Alene. Good night to open up the windows, cool down the house. We are going to be dropping down into the 40s. We had a frost advisory last night. Tonight there are no frost advisories, and we're going to see overnight lows primarily in the 40s and 50s, right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. A broader view will drop into the 30s in Colville, but even Winthrop, 45, 47 in Omak. 57 in Pullman and 56 degrees overnight in Lewiston. Here's a look at our weather pattern. We have a ridge of high pressure in place right now. That's going to keep the sunshine going for Wednesday, bring our temperatures up into the 80s, but it's moving off to the east. And we are bringing a strong cold front in for Thursday into Friday morning. Here's Friday morning at 6 o'clock. We'll have more of a west-northwesterly flow over the region. We're going to see our winds pick up, our temperatures drop, and we may tap into some wildfire smoke. I'll show you that here in just a moment. But first, I want to show you our winds on Wednesday. Light winds, but we are seeing some expansion of wildfire smoke from fires burning around the region, so it may be a little hazier than it was today. Winds pick up to 30 miles per hour on Thursday with 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Breezy on Friday, but not anywhere near as windy as Thursday, and 5-mile-per-hour winds on Saturday. We have a fire weather watch for Thursday afternoon for the potential for rapidly spreading new fires and existing fires, up to 30-mile-per-hour gusts, but also that low relative humidity. And that is for the Spokane area, as well as the Washington Palouse, the Columbia Basin, and then right up into the Okanagan areas. Fire and smoke. We have a couple of big ones. The Lower Sugarloaf Fire and the Labor Mountain Fire to our west. And as those westerly winds develop as we get into Thursday, that smoke is going to be blowing in this direction. So we may see that increase in wildfire smoke as early as tomorrow as that continues to seep in. We're in the moderate range right now over much of the region, but things have gone downhill around Wenatchee and Winthrop throughout the day, getting into the unhealthy range. Your planning forecast. Breezy on Thursday, to a lesser extent on Friday, and a pretty good drop in our temperatures from Thursday to Friday with that cold front's passage. 70 Friday. We warm up a little bit Saturday and Sunday with partly cloudy skies and growing confidence that we may get some rain early next week. Such an exciting thing when that happens. 68 with a 40% chance of showers right now on Tuesday. Amazing pick of the night tonight. At first I thought it was a peony, and then I took a closer look. It's the Orion Nebula. And our friend Jerry Kaiser, who has an amazing telescope photography setup, captured this image this morning around 3 a.m. and just a remarkable photo. If you want to learn more about this, I have this posted along with Jerry's explanation of how he took this picture on my Facebook page. It's up there right now, Derek.
Really, really cool.
Isn't that beautiful?
Right. Yeah, it is. All right, if you're thinking of purchasing an electric vehicle, the tax credit is expiring soon. Under President Trump's spending and tax package, that $7,500 federal tax credit for EV buyers ends on October 1st. Once the credit ends, it's predicted that automakers could respond to the law cost of the credit by discounting EV vehicles or with cashback offers. Now, still to come, what caused thousands of dollars in damages to cars at a downtown Spokane dealership. Don't go away. More for.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
From your head and shoulders, down to your toes, and everywhere in between. Kootenai Health provides advanced medicine right where you need it, right here in North Idaho.
We rent china, glassware, tents, and barbecues, flatware, linen, dance floor, staging, tables, chairs.
A to Z rental, no job too big, no job too small.
Jackhammers, stem doors, washers, stump grinder saws, generators, skid steer, excavator, dingoes, trailers, tractors, nailers, staplers, hole diggers, tillers, mowers, yard vac, aerators.
Call A to Z Rental at 509-924-2000 or go to rentatoz.com.
We rent everything, man.
Now open in Airway Heights.
At A to Z Rental, we rent everything.
This is our new home.
Mission control, engine lost.
Call you after.
I'll be right next to you.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models. See your local GMC dealer.
This life is not for the faint of heart. Fortunately, for those who choose to live boldly, you've got Kootenai Health in your corner, no matter what happens along the way. Next Level Care is here. Visit kh.org.
Book your stay and play getaway today at Mistaqua.com.
Welcome back. A woman was arrested by Spokane police for allegedly causing more than $100,000 worth of damages to cars at a downtown dealership. Police say this happened just before midnight on Friday. The 911 caller said two people were arguing near a dealership when one of them began throwing rocks at cars in the lot. SPD says the suspect left the area before police arrived. Security for the dealership provided police with security footage, and when officers reviewed it, they found 16 vehicles had been damaged. The suspect was identified as 34-year-old Katie Sims. She's been arrested and booked in the Spokane County Jail for first-degree malicious mischief.
You literally cripple the ability of New York City to do anything. It would be a catastrophic event in and around New York City.
And the Secret Service says it believes it foiled a plot aimed at New York City's telecommunications center that had the potential to collapse it entirely. In several apartments in New York, investigators say they found hundreds of servers and more than 100,000 SIM cards. That's enough equipment to send 30 million anonymous text messages every minute, which would jam the area's communications lines. The apartments were otherwise empty. No arrests have been made, but law enforcement told ABC News they believe those responsible are linked to China.
If we see something that is potentially a threat, we need to be paranoid about running that to ground. Whether it's an email on cyberspace or an Instagram post, or it's somebody out on the street saying something that they shouldn't say that's a threat to our protectee, we run all of those to ground.
This happened just weeks before the 2025 UN General Assembly in New York, where world leaders are convening now until the 28th. The Secret Service says it's still working to figure out if they've seized all of the equipment, and they are trying to figure out what the group intended to do with it. Well, NASA has announced the 10 people selected from a pool of 8,000 applicants who will be joining the agency's astronaut corps. Among the 10 is 40-year-old Lauren Edgar, a woman from King County. The selection of these astronauts marks another step toward an attempt for a crewed mission to Mars. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez tells us about the unprecedented mission.
NASA is aiming to make another giant leap for mankind by sending a crewed mission to the moon and eventually to Mars.
Some of you may take humanity's first steps on the red planet of Mars. All of you will carry forward missions that today exist only in our dreams. But together, we're going to make these dreams a reality.
Artemis 2, a test mission that will fly around the moon, is planned to launch no later than April 2026, according to NASA, and is intended to help confirm the systems and hardware needed for deep space exploration by humans.
We are going back to the moon to establish a sustained presence. The crew there on the surface of the moon will be trying to figure out how to live off the land.
Even though the 4 astronauts for that mission have already been chosen, some of the crew members headed to Mars in the future could include any of NASA's 10 newest astronauts introduced on Monday. Among the candidates are former military, a geologist, and mechanical, aerospace, and biomedical engineers.
With upcoming exploration missions, we are pushing the boundaries of human performance. And the lessons that we learn are going to help us to excel not just in space, but in areas of human health here on Earth.
During their 2-year training, the astronauts will learn about NASA's history and vision for the future, and will take classes in geology and in water survival and space health. Upon completion, the new class will join the 48 other members of the space agency's astronaut corps and become eligible for flight assignments. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Pretty awesome stuff. All right, now for our story tracker, our number 3 top trending story. The Idaho Department of Environmental Quality has issued an advisory for Black Lake in Kootenai County because of an active cyanobacterial bloom. They say people and pets should stay out of the water completely. Next, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown and City Council members have created a plan asking federal lawmakers to support funding for 4 key issues that affect city residents. Those include improved public safety and healthcare access, growing jobs, and fixing infrastructure. And at number 1, an assistant professor at North Idaho College who was placed on leave for comments he made about the Charlie Kirk shooting is no longer employed by the college. A spokesperson for NIC confirmed that information Monday night, but would not confirm whether the assistant professor was fired or resigned. The spokesperson says it's a personnel matter and NIC won't be commenting further. You can find each of these stories and more at KXLY.com. Well, all the Mariners needed to do was beat the worst team in baseball tonight, the Colorado Rockies, to clinch their first playoff berth since 2022. We'll show you what started the party in Seattle next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Hospitals.
Thursday night on ABC. Celebrate the birthday of a true original.
Barbara Walters.
Barbara.
Stand by, please.
With the broadcast television premiere of the Dot Critics call Riveting. Thrilling history. Sharp and inquiring in a playful way.
Oh, God.
Enjoyable, extraordinary.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters, Tell Me Everything. Thursday night on ABC.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series. Built Ford Tough.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social. We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
All right, welcome back. The party is on in the Emerald City as the Mariners clinched their first playoff berth in 3 years with a dramatic come-from-behind win over the Colorado Rockies. The M's couldn't get anything going offensively until the bottom of the 5th inning. That's when Dominic Canzone sends an absolute laser shot to right off of McCade Brown. Canzone's 11th of the year evens the score at 1. The Rockies put 2 men in scoring position in the 6th for Ezekiel Tovar, who goes the other way for a base hit. Mickey Moniak scores easily, and Blaine Krim beats the throw to the plate to make it 3-1. And it stays that way until the bottom of the 8th. And with the bases loaded, Josh Naylor drills one to the gap in left center field, and that's going to clear them all. A go-ahead 3-run double for Naylor, who's been unreal for the M's since coming over from Arizona. Seattle wins for the 15th time in 16 games, securing a spot in the postseason with a 4-3 victory. The M's can wrap up the American League West title as soon as tomorrow. Well, a tough break for former WSU quarterback John Mateer, the Heisman Trophy candidate for Oklahoma, will miss about a month after breaking a bone in his throwing hand in the Sooners' win over Auburn on Saturday. Oklahoma says Mateer will undergo surgery, but didn't give a timeline for his return. Mateer led the Sooners to a 4-0 start, throwing for over 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns while rushing for 5 more TDs. In Mateer's breakout season last year, he led the Cougs to 8 wins, including an Apple Cup victory over the Huskies. And you can now vote for this week's Game of the Week for the Friday Night Sports Extra. The contenders are Gonzaga Prep against Cheney, Mount Spokane at Meade, and a North Idaho clash between Sandpoint and Coeur d'Alene. 3 good ones there. To vote, head to our website, kxly.com, and find the story in the sports section. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I'm writing a list of the best reasons to call the advocates.
You get a team dedicated for your case.
Right.
We'll fight hard to get you the very best result.
Also good.
Well, let's see your list.
I think I captured it.
Great list.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado 1500 models. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
This is Rhonda. She's a soul line dance instructor. And this is Rhonda's Good Feet story.
I love dancing, but I had foot pain and hated the fact that I had to sit out a couple dances. But since visiting the Good Feet store and wearing the arch supports, I definitely have not felt the pain. I am able to dance longer, feel happier. My energy levels have increased. Once that energy gets into you and you're feeling good, double spins.
Get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
With heat like this, air conditioning's a necessity. Bill's Heating and AC can get you the relief you want with the urgency you need. We offer free same-day estimates and next-day installation. Plus, all our new equipment comes with a low price guarantee. So call Bill's Heating and AC today and take advantage of our 0% for 5 years promotional financing.
When you bring your case to the advocates, you pay no fee unless we win.
No unanswered questions.
No regrets.
No sweet-talking insurance adjusters.
Just the assurance that we'll fight hard for your win.
And no fee until that happens.
Exactly.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Well, Disney is raising prices again for the majority of its streaming service plans in the U.S. Most of the plans are increasing by $1 to $3. These new prices take effect on October 21st. This is the 3rd time in 3 years that Disney has raised its prices for its streaming services. That means you have to pay the new amount if you want to watch the holiday special Prep and Landing Snowball Protocol. Disney announced today that after 14 years, elves Wayne and Lanny, members of the Prep and Landing team for Santa, are set to return in their 4th short film. The film will air on the Disney Channel on November 27th and will be available for streaming on the 28th, Chris.
Oh my goodness, that is must-see TV. 4 News Now, still 100% free over the air, 82 degrees on Wednesday and sunny. Winds pick up on Thursday. We're going to keep an eye on the wildfire smoke.
All right, and we need that rain next week, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, thanks so much for being with us. Good Morning Northwest starts at 5 a.m.